everybody, and happy almost Valentine's Day. Welcome to another Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here. I want to start off by saying how incredibly proud I am of the Naked Army and of everyone who submitted vlogs last week. There were like twice as many as usual Naked Truths sent in last week on mental illness, and people were so honest, and people were really just showing raw emotion, and I really encourage you to go check everyone's vlogs out from last week. They're in the description below. That's what this whole series is about. The Naked Truth is actually almost 1 year old. I think its birthday is tomorrow, one day after I'll be posting this. And it's almost 100,000 subscribers strong. So that's all because of you guys and because of everyone feeling free to share who they really are on the internet. And that's awesome. And I love it. And it brings a tear to my eye. So thank you guys. So that being said, a big thank you to, get ready, here is all of the names of people who sent in last week. Christopher, Romeo, Nathan, Josiah, Hiram, Rachel, Courtney, Pat, Nathan R., Sid, Julia Lawrence, Thomas, John, Steve, Prescott and Kristen, Amy, Michael, Chris, Dean, Nerwin, Sammy, and Carly. You guys are awesome. If I don't get a chance to comment on everyone's video, please know that I'm going through and watching them all. But since there were so many more, it's taking me a little while to get through them. But so far, all of the ones that I've seen have been absolutely amazing and super heartfelt and honest. All right, so moving on to this week, since Valentine's Day is coming up, I wanted to do a Naked Truth on a conversation I've had many times, usually with one Steve Zaragoza, about Valentine's Day and whether or not it's a bullcrap holiday. Whether or not it's a Hallmark holiday, if it should be a real holiday, or if we should just do away with it. And I think in order to accurately look at Valentine's Day, I'm going to try to honestly look at both sides of the fence here. We should look at where Valentine's Day came from. So it started out as a religious holiday, the feast of patron saint, the feast of Saint Valentine, who's patron saint of lovers, couples, eloping beekeepers. Funny enough, who knows where that comes from, happy marriages, that kind of stuff. But I think arguing that it's a religious holiday to argue Valentine's Day's validity is probably a little bit outdated. Saint Valentine, there's a lot of different conflicting stories as to who Saint Valentine was. There were apparently many Valentines throughout the very, very early years who were martyred, and there's a lot of conflicting reports about who Saint Valentine was. And Saint Valentine himself, or this saint, wasn't even affiliated with romantic love until like the 18th century in England, when like courtly love was a big deal. And in the not 18th century, I'm sorry, the high Middle Ages, courtly love was a big deal. And that's when they started saying, oh, well, we'll give little gifts and little notes and things like that to romantic lovers for St. Valentine's Day. So I don't think we can argue that it's a religious holiday, because how many people do you know that are like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, I better go to church? I personally don't know many. I'm sure there are people out there who do that, but I don't think that that's the overwhelming majority of people celebrating Valentine's Day, and that's why they're doing it. So nowadays, Valentine's Day is a more secular, commercialized holiday. It celebrates romantic love, but I would also say that it celebrates lots of different types of love. I mean, when you're young, you bring in Valentines for all of your different classmates, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have crushes or romantic interest in all of your different classmates. I think that the U.S. Greeting Card Association had a statistic that like in 2010, over 50% of the greeting cards that were bought for Valentine's Day were for family members outside of lovers. So a lot of people are celebrating relationships that aren't necessarily romantic in nature. I would say that an argument against Valentine's Day as a holiday is that it's really celebrating romantic love and poo-pooing everybody that's not coupled up, which isn't fair, because some people are perfectly happy not being coupled up. But because so many people give Valentines to people that are not romantic interests, I would argue that that's not a valid argument against Valentine's Day. I think that Valentine's Day can be celebrating all different types of love. Some people will argue that Valentine's Day is not a real holiday because it's super commercialized and it's a Hallmark holiday. It's just there so that companies can make money off of it. And to that I would argue, don't most holidays bring in a lot of revenue for companies? I mean, if you think about St. Patrick's Day, think about all of the like shamrock stuff there's shamrock shakes at McDonald's, and there's all sorts of like fun beads with clovers on them. I mean, there's a lot of things sold, and certainly if you're looking at a commercial holiday, Christmas has got to be it. Everyone's buying gifts for everybody, and the spending is out of control. But would you argue because of that Christmas is not a valid holiday? I would argue that it still is, for sure. Then there are people that say it's not a valid holiday because you should treat your significant other or people you appreciate and love in your life like that. The other 364 days out of the year, it's crap to just say we should only do it one. And that's a favorite argument of some male friends of mine. And to those, I would say those male friends are the ones who are arguing vehemently, like, no, you have to do it 365 days a year, not just one. It's bullcrap to just put it all on one. Those are the guys that don't do it any days. So they're mad that you're trying to hold them accountable for one day. I'm not saying everyone who makes that argument is like that, but the people that I know personally that argue that are the ones that don't even want to do it one day. Not because they're bad people, just because that's part of their personality. And I'd say, this is a day to celebrate those people. Of course, you should celebrate them other days, but I would liken it to Mother's Day or Father's Day. This is a day that reminds you to appreciate that person. Not that you should ignore them the other 364 days of the year. It's just a day to celebrate that, or like a friend's birthday. Maybe it's a day to celebrate that friend, not that you should be crappy to that friend the rest of the year. So those are my thoughts. I guess overall, you can probably guess, I don't think it's a bullcrap holiday. I do think that it's commercialized. I don't think that it's necessarily for its original religious purposes anymore, but everything evolves and changes over the years. And what we have now that is Valentine's Day, I think is really a great excuse to do something special for somebody important in your life. So my question to you guys is not only do you think Valentine's Day is a bullcrap holiday, but also share a Valentine's Day idea with the rest of the Naked Army, because sometimes it's hard to rack your brain and think of nice things you can do for people. I know people are probably Googling a lot of like Valentine's Day ideas. Oh no, what do I do? So mine that I would share is, I think it's really fun to leave anonymous notes for people, either on their car, on their locker, that just says you're special, or you've got a great smile, or please know that you're appreciated, or please know that you're loved, or something like that. Whether it's like a little flower and a note or just a little note. Valentine's Day doesn't have to cost a ton. It's an extra day to make people smile. So that's this week's Naked Truth, and I guess I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much, and happy 1-year birthday, Naked Army. Okay, bye guys.